Hi everyone. Today is the 29th of August and I'm here with Leena, and Leena has been our guide here, not only showing us the city but also talking to us about the education system. And right now we are in the City Museum and we are in the student wing where there is a really good preservation of the education system in Finland.
In old days.
In old days, yeah. So my questions would be basically about the Finnish education system and a bit more about phenomenon-based learning because Finland has adopted it in 2016. So to start with, how do you see phenomenon-based learning in Finland?
Well, I see exactly how it is in most schools nowadays here. It's going out from the classrooms, working, collaborating in between the teachers and also the educators, like museum educators and other venues educators who are out from the school places. So you work together. Everything is lean on national curriculum. But however, you can have your own personal collaborative input in that phenomenal program or job or whatever you are doing. So I see it like how it is here, that we don't learn for subjects themselves. We try to integrate them together to the life and to the real life, to the daily routines, and we are learning practical way to use your knowledge and learning in practice. It's a very like a round answer, but practical way of learning outdoors, not inside in the classroom, and you are collaborating.
Now, Finland was doing really well. My question is, so why did they suddenly need to implement phenomenon-based learning? Because if we look at some of the standard testing systems like PISA, which looks at how a country is performing, Finland was consistently doing well. Now, I think it's a cliched question. Why changing a system which is doing really well?
Well, we didn't really change the system, in my opinion. I've been a teacher for more than 20 years, done loads of different positions in teaching, not only with classes, but also in the office and with the curriculum and research as well. And I feel that we've always been doing these phenomena because we've been always integrating. We are not only learning, because life is not like pieces of information or different subjects. It's more like integration. We have these projects that are dealing with all kinds of different information and different fields. So that's what we've been always doing. That we are learning for the life. We are learning about different things. But however, you have to have a holistic approach. You kind of have to integrate them all together, and that's what we've been doing. At least I've been doing all my teaching career.
Okay,
so it hasn't really changed, but what has really maybe changed is that we are given more freedom for the students as well, and we are more collaborating outdoors. We are more doing co-work, for example, the libraries with different museums, offices, work life, and parents, and it's not only the teachers who are planning and working, and then the students have a very, very strong role in this, so we are creating it together, we are learning together. And I would say that the process is more important than the project, the phenomena itself. What's happening there in middle between the starting line A and then the ending line maybe F. What's going on middle between there, that's the most important. Not so much what comes out in the F that, or how it starts, but what is happening there. And everything is great. Whatever is taking place and happening, they are still learning, so that's the most important thing.
Now, so we are talking about a range of different things here. So students taking responsibility, teachers are given more freedom. There's a huge amount of trust, massive trust, which I don't think any other culture or any other system has at this point in time. Now, have you experienced any problems in terms of the process or infrastructure in Finland in the implementation of phenomenon-based learning?
Yes and no. The biggest problem I think is that we kind of lean too much on children, or we give too much trust to our students, and we kind of think that they are self-orientated. No, they are not. And often, you know, you see that the teachers are thinking, that, okay, we collaborate and we make this great project, and then the kids are self-oriented and we give them the tools and instructions, and they are ready to observe and navigate around. But no, they still need the guidance. So you should be there, you know, like keeping an eye, and sometimes we feel like, okay, here is the task and off you go, and you come back when you are ready. No, it shouldn't work like that, and that's what some teachers do when they're thinking, okay, great, we have this phenomenon, and now is the week for that, so it's more time for coffee drinking for our adults, and because we are so keen on coffee, we are just addicted to coffee, you know, I mean, it's 10 kilos or even more per capita, so coffee is all the time. You go to the staff room and then you see the teachers going around with the coffee mug and all that. So yeah, it's a bit problematic because some of our adult teachers, you know, they feel like, okay, now we have some more freedom. I can do make assessment maybe and use that time. But no, you are not supposed to stay. Yeah, you can step aside, but you should still be there like a fly, observing and ready to help. And the students should be leaning on your shoulder if they need something. You are there to observe, but you shouldn't give too much independence to the kids, you know. That has been a big problem here in Finland because we've given a bit too much independence and they are not ready for that yet. And that's also, I think, the problem with PISA, that the results have gone a bit down now, and we don't really press or you know, stress our kids here. We do give that time, like I said, the process is more important than the project. But however, you know, in many countries they have caught up us, you know, because they are pushing maybe a bit higher. We don't do that.
Leena, you have traveled and you have studied overseas, as you mentioned. You have been a Fulbright scholar. You studied in the States. Now, and you also know that in the international media there is a hype about phenomenon-based learning, and that possibly is a reason for many of us to take active interest in phenomenon-based learning. Now, where do you see other countries will struggle to implement phenomenon-based learning?
That's a good question. You know, maybe if you are too much subject-orientated, if you're just like, you know, thinking of, okay, this is a math lesson and it should be a math lesson because you can do like a math and science and languages and maybe mother tongue and drawing and music at the same time. Maybe if you're just too much on that. And maybe also if you are just too much, it's too hierarchical, that like too adult drawn, that you are a bit afraid of giving all that freedom to their children. But like I said, you have to be careful. It's always the adult who keeps the ropes in his or her hands. That's another, so too subject orientated, too much adult orientated. Then if there's a language of collaboration, not only in between kids and adults, but also among the adults. And then of course one very important thing is that, you know, the head of the school, if they are not supporting your system, if you feel like I don't have all that support what I'm doing, you know, and I have this great valuable idea, and then my maybe head teacher or headmaster or principal isn't supporting, or parents are not supporting, you know, so you have that huge barrier there, you know, hinder there, you know, so you kind of first, you know, it's always that you have to do your work planning very carefully, and then you can just enjoy the rest, you know. So the frames are very important. That would be something, and then what would be another problem maybe, yes, just if the kids are not motivated. Yes, if it is something, if it is a phenomenon that doesn't have any meaning. Sometimes you have these very weird phenomena, like themes that are not really related with real life or something, that they feel like this is out of, this is nothing, you know, very smart to study about. So these are, there are many of course, but these are like some examples.
My last question, thank you for
Yeah,
your time.
Ole, hyvä, we say in Finnish, yes.
Do you see this is the future or the way we learn? I think, as you mentioned, we do not necessarily do holistic learning, and sometimes children especially, they lose interest, and we are heading into a future where things are becoming very complex because a lot of jobs will be lost to artificial intelligence, world is becoming global, really complex, mental health and equality and global warming, they are big issues, so something we have never addressed well. So do you see phenomenon-based learning as the tools to address
Yes, in many ways, because I also have worked as a school counselor, talking about the work life and how to integrate after schools to different labor field and all that. And I see as a educator that these 21st century skills that we are all very well known and we've heard about a lot: communication, collaboration, and creativity and critical thinking and caring and what is missing, communication skills, like as I said it already, but very important. So they are all needed. They are more important than math itself and so this is holistic approach. They are needed in the working life and if you try to manage in this massive competition, and you mentioned that nature issues and global warming and all that and geopolitical situations that are here happening at the moment, unfortunately. So yes, they are very important. So you should understand the holistic frame, umbrella kind of around there. Why, what is this all meaning, and if I do this, what are the causes, and why am I doing this? How could I implement it to the practice and all that? So practical, holistical way of thinking and learning is, to me, the future path.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, ole hyvä. Kiitos we say in Finnish, yes.
Kiitos.
And hey is like goodbye. Be careful if you say hey, it's like hello. But when you say hey, ciao.